Morning ladies, and welcome to July's coffee and cards, so July 2021, and summer's in full swing. I'm cooking away here, it's really warm, and this month we're using Biggest Wish, the photopolymer stamp set from Stampin' Up. I think you'll be using this stamp set for years to come. It's just a really happy, bold stamp sets. We're going to make lots of nice cards with this, I think. You can use them inside or outside cards, it's up to you. And so we're going to use those, and then you've also got in your kit a Calypso Coral stamp pad and a Bermuda Bay stamp pad, so some nice vibrant colours for us to be using today and for the rest of this month. So, and as you know, it's a 5-card month because it's a 5 Thursday month. So I've got my drink, I've got my stamps, and I've got my ink pads. So just need my kit for this week. So, just let me double check, this is card 1, yeah. So I thought we'd just go straight in and do some organised stamping. It's not really random stamping at all. It's actually a lot easier than it looks, and you just slowly build up the image. You will need a nice wet cleaning cloth and to clean the stamps between stamping. So let's go. You also need a black ink pad, a Memento black ink pad, which I think all of you have got, so that's not going to be a problem. Right, so let's get started. So we'll start with our pack. Leave that way you can see it, so we know what we're doing. And it's card number 1. Went very curly with the font this time, I quite like that. And card number 1, and everything you need for this card's in here. So there is a stitched so sweetly little frame for friend, and 2 pieces of Whisper White. In theory, one for inside and one for outside, but you know, it's quite a pale card, so don't stick that in until you've done the front, just in case we need to start again. I don't think you will do, to be honest. It's quite straightforward once you get the hang of it. Right, so we're going to use the hello, and we've got our envelope too. So got the paper down because I am going to be over the edge, as you can see. And the first thing we're going to do is grab the hello stamp and a stamp block. So pop the inks ready to go. And let's get out the hello, which is right in the middle. Go. And what I actually did, using my grid paper, or you can use the edge of a table or anything like that, I actually put my hello at 45 degrees. So I have lined up the top of the stamp with this line here, or the one below, this line here. So they're roughly 45 degrees because each one lines up with the corner of a square, and then I actually put it on the stamping block straight. Okay, so that's already at the angle you want to use it at. You could do this with a Stamparatus, but you would have to keep moving it every time you stamp. You know, on some of them we can just move it up and stamp. This, you would have to move the stamp every time, which, you know, you can do, but it's a bit time consuming. I think I need to go and get some alcohol rub and sort out these tiles. Actually clean it with hand sanitizer. Sorry about that, just had a couple of issues, had to whiz off, but I'm back now. So we can start stamping now. So I'd got my stamp on the block, and I put it at the 45 degrees like I wanted it, and we're going to start by doing the first of the orange. For some reason my phone was then recording me. Right, okay. So I'm just going to do the hello, the first hello in the Calypso Coral. I'm just going to pop that straight on my grid paper, and I'm just going to stamp that towards the top, just like that. There we go, near the side. Okay, there we go. Just going to wipe that off because we don't want to have Calypso Coral ink on our Bermuda Bay ink pad. So yeah. So do as I say, not as I do. I just dried it on my trousers, which is fine if they're dark, but not if they're pale. But mine are dark today, so we're fine. Okay. So, and then we're turning our block round 90 degrees. So we're this way now, card's still nice and straight. And we're just going to stamp that, and you're lining it up with the 2 E's and the L, 2 L's and the E. Okay, so it's in the middle of the word hello, and just pop it down. Okay, so it's just lining up. Perhaps it could have been a smidge higher, but we're lining it up with the middle of the Bermuda Bay hello. And then we're going to come in again with our Calypso coral, and again we want it facing this way. And again, get that nice and straight. Just caught the edge of the block there, so I'm just going to wipe that off. And again, we are lining it up with the hello we've already stamped towards the middle. So it's overlapping about half the O and half the H. There we go. Okay. Going to do another Bermuda Bay, and again we've gone back this way, lining it up. Oops, if your card's straight, just lining it up there. Clean that off. Coming back in with the Calypso coral. So, and this time I'm using the Calypso coral as the accent colour. You can do it either way. You could even add a third colour in if you're feeling really adventurous. Again, this one now, lining up with the Bermuda Bay hello. You know, if you're concerned about going straight in and doing this, you can always practice it on a piece of paper. Piece of scrap. So, and then back in with the Bermuda Bay, and again just lining it up with the H and the O there. Okay, so we've got our first line, although I'm just going to add a little tap at the end there. So again, back with the hellos this way, just lining up with the middle of that O. So I've just got the last little bit of a hello at the bottom there. And how much of the hello you've got at the bottom depends where you started at the top. So I suspect, looking at that, if we'd actually started right on the edge, then we could have just had the 3, but I quite like the way it goes off the edge. Right, so we can put our Calypso coral away, and we're now just going to do the rest of the Bermuda Bay ones. So all the Bermuda Bay stamping is this way. So I'm just going to go in, get that hair out of the way for a start. So, and again we're lining up roughly with the middle of the O. There we go. Oh, you know, I've just been trying to remember someone's name all day and I've just remembered it now. Typical. And then this one goes in this gap here. Another one in this gap here, and just remember, you know, we're trying to be precise, but it's not machine made. We are making this by hand in our own homes. So, and then this one goes in here, and there is just one final little corner at the top there that needs one. So I'm just going to put one on this corner here. Okay, so there we go. See, not as hard as it looks. And I think that's just a really, it just looks really good, doesn't it? You know, for not a lot of work really. All we've done is stamped a few hellos, and we've got this gorgeous card. So we're finished with our inks now, and I've got well, for now I've got a Bermuda Bay tent fold card base. So that's cut in half vertically and scored at 14.85 and then folded over. And just, you know, if you want to make this card again, this piece is shorter than it should be. That's excellent. Right, okay, that actually, I'm going to go with it anyway because I can put it in the middle. It should actually be about ½ centimetre wider. I have just cut mine. I didn't do it at the same time as yours, so it could be that yours are all okay, but I still like that even with the uneven borders. Yeah, that one's the right size. But do you know what? It's not a mistake, it's a design change. So that's just going to stick nicely on the front there. And that should be 10 by 14.4, not 9.5 by 14.4, which is what it actually is. But again, I think it looks nice with the wider borders around the side and the narrower borders at the top. It's not an exact science. And some of the, I think it's serendipity, isn't it? Some of my best designs, I think, have been found by mistake or by accident. I think serendipity is more by accident than by mistake. So I'm just evening out the borders either side, which if you want to do that with yours, you just need to cut off ½ centimetre off one side of your piece. So, there we go. And then you just need to grab your Memento Black for the friend. Or you can do it in, you know, one of the colours. You could do Memento in the Bermuda Bay or the Calypso Coral. So just grab a friend, which is here. And I'm just going to still put it on the big block because it's easier. If you've got a slightly bigger block, it's easier to see the edges of your frame so you can position your stamp more easily because you've not got any distortion. So this is a D block I'm using here, and I'm just going to pick up friend, and I've popped it straight on the stamp rather than at 45 degrees like I did with the hello. And I'm just going to pop this straight as well, and then excuse my hair if it's coming in, this just fits just nicely on this stitched shape. There we go. And just to give it a little bit more oomph, I am going to pop this onto dimensionals. Now I suspect, yeah, so you just need to flick it off. And there we go. Friend. Hello, friend. So I'll grab some dimensionals. I'm just going to use 4, just one in each corner. I think I'm going to put one in the middle as well, just to be sure. I'd rather it, as I've always said, I'd rather use a little bit more and it look really good than skimp and it not look quite so good. I don't want the middle of your sentiments sagging down. And there we go. Pop it where you like. I just like it there. Hello, 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 friend. So those are the two. I like them both actually, with the wider border and with the narrower border. So you can choose to do either, and you just need to pop your piece of blank card inside. Somebody pointed out on Facebook the other day, asking if they were the only one who took a piece of blank card and then turned it over to put glue on. And she's not alone, is she? Because I do it too. I suspect most of us do. It's just a habit, isn't it? Right. And then we're just popping the middle on there. And then I don't know if you noticed when I brought the first one on, I have actually decorated the envelope. So because this one isn't particularly designer series paper based, I thought we'd try something different this time. So I've actually stamped the envelope with this little decorative stamp that comes with the stamp set. Just putting my hello back so we don't lose it. Oops, excuse me. So it's just 3 little crosses, and I'm going to pop that on a little square block, and I'm just going to randomly stamp some little crosses. So I started it with it like this and did these, and then I added these last few with it folded over so that they weren't going onto the front. Okay, so we'll start with this one, and I'll start with the Bermuda Bay. We'll pop those out of the way. There we go. And then I'm just going to randomly stamp some little crosses, some going off, some near the top, one on that corner there, maybe one over here. We'll just add some more sort of scattered in and amongst. Do you know what I've not done? Haven't turned it round. Okay, and then I'm going to get my Calypso Coral and do the same. This time I'm going to remember to turn the block round so all the crosses are in different directions. So, and the envelope a little bit as well. So I'm just going in that corner there and put some here, squeeze some in there. Big gap here, so I think I'm going to do 2 different ones. One over here. And I'm just going to do 1 or 2 on this edge here. So I'll do 1 there and 1 going over the edge there. And I think I've got a lot of colour or a lot of gaps, so I'm just going to pop them there as well. And then I'm just going to fill in, or going to fill in, with the black now, which I've already put away. So I think I'll put a couple for a start going off the top. So if we put, let's get some more ink on that. So put 1 there and 1 here. Just put 1 in there and then open up. So to pop 1 there, 1 coming off the edge. Just put them where you feel that they're needed. If you're not sure where they're going, you've probably done enough. Just going to put 1 little cross there. Yep, I think I'm going to leave that. Okay, so I think that's just a nice little extra to add to the envelope, just to hint at the insides. So that little decorative piece will be good on the front of cards as well. So I just thought that would look really sweet on the envelope like that. So there's the one I made earlier with the narrower borders, and here's the one I've done today with the wider borders. And as I say, I like them both. Which surprises me because I am more of an even border girl, but I do quite like that. I think that looks quite nice. Maybe because it's got vertical stripes, that's why I'm liking the wider edge. Anyway, so that's the cards done for today. A little slurp of my coffee. I hope you like this technique. As I say, if you're not sure and you want to practice first, that's fine. So just to get you lining up and just get your confidence. But I found it was quite easy once I'd worked out where they lined up with each other. I found it quite easy to do. So I hope you enjoyed that, and looking forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.